The Statue of Liberty raises a bold "No Kings" flag, capturing the movement's rejection of autocracy and its roots in America's founding ideals. In 2026, the Nobel Committee broke tradition by awarding the Peace Prize to the No Kings movement, a grassroots collective rather than diplomats or leaders. The movement draws moral strength from King, Gandhi, and Christ, positioning itself as peaceful self-correction through principled protest. No Kings adapts traditional marches and pulpits for the digital age, using open-source agreements and data transparency to bridge old and new. This biblical passage grounds the movement in spiritual courage, offering comfort and resolve when facing political danger. MAGA's tactics of disconnection, disinformation, and delegitimization threaten the body politic, which No Kings counters through nonviolent means. America's renewal contrasts the alt-right's vision of domination with disciplined resilience and refusal to submit to authoritarianism. By late 2024, America's democratic fabric was visibly straining under political fragility and escalating violence. Political violence evolved from scattered incidents into a ritualized cycle, fueled by misinformation and deepening grievance. No Kings emerged as a networked oath connecting governance veterans, educators, faith communities, civic professionals, and millions of everyday Americans. No kings, no masters, only citizens became the rallying cry, reviving a core American memory for the nation's 250th birthday. The movement's shift away from Trumpism towards civility earned it the Nobel Prize, recognized as a pivotal moment in world order. No Kings reconnected alienated citizens to the multi-state system's legitimacy through fair, lawful, and disciplined civic action. The movement's decentralized structure mirrors the National Guard's federal-local relationship, emphasizing distributed authority and community trust. No Kings identified algorithmic outrage, cynically generated by tech bros, as the chief vector of unrest that needed dampening. The movement rebuilt 3 pillars of peace infrastructure: civic arbitration circles, public integrity compacts, and digital restraint norms. Visible, repeatable fairness transformed hotspots into procedural trust zones, reducing violence by demonstrating justice rather than eliminating anger. States embracing the No Kings ethos conceded space for self-governance, discovering that legitimacy returned stronger through shared procedure. There are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen, capturing the movement's rapid acceleration. By the end of 2025, over 100 million citizens had signed a No Kings civic compact, forming a distributed immune system for the Republic. Between October 2025 and October 2026, the No Kings movement transformed from concept to cultural force. When the president painted all dissent as hating America, it paradoxically fueled the movement's growth rather than suppressing it. Libraries became staging grounds for citizen circles, where the currency shifted from outrage to agency, creating new civic spaces. No Kings rediscovered constitutional morality as neither left nor right, but as a shared ethical foundation transcending partisan politics. Using volunteer-run cloud servers, the movement built a peer-based civic internet designed to resist demagogues and centralized control. A MAGA corruption scandal triggered defections to transparent citizenship, culminating in lawmakers wearing NK pins during the State of the Union. Trump's fear of being shouted down like Romanian dictator Ceausescu forced him to retreat from uncontrolled public events. Podcasts, films, and essays poured out, framing No Kings as the rebirth of 1776 without muskets, idols, or fear. Musicians, filmmakers, and faith leaders wove No Kings into their work, making it a cultural immune response rather than just politics. Evangelicals, secular humanists, veterans, and climate organizers found moral chemistry in their overlap, all signing a citizen's charter. This illustration captures American culture's symbols and excesses, providing context for the society No Kings sought to reform. Cities like Madison and Austin became test beds for civic labs, experimenting with deliberation apps that reconnect people to shared decision-making. When federal agencies declared gathering security risks, the order backfired as cameras captured unarmed citizens facing riot shields with calm defiance. The image of someone in an inflatable frog costume facing police became iconic, reteaching America how dignity looks in motion. Activists released The Republic Beyond Fear, arguing that no kings represents recovery, not resistance, and that republics need adults, not saviors. By fall 2026, the No Kings ethic spread globally by admiration, inspiring sibling movements in Hungary, Poland, Brazil, India, Russia, Turkey, and beyond. A global convening in Philadelphia produced a declaration of interdependence, preaching relational sovereignty as an antidote to authoritarian nostalgia. The Nobel Committee awarded the prize for restoring faith in self-governance through peaceful civic renewal, recognizing its universal significance. This belongs to the people who remembered they were the sovereign, the leader's humble response emphasizing collective ownership over individual glory. The movement's intellectual DNA of civic resilience, distributed authority, and nonviolent coordination began filtering into policy, art, and education. The formal nomination letter initiated the Nobel Committee's consideration of the No Kings movement for the Peace Prize. Professor Eleanor Haldane of the University of Pennsylvania formally nominated the movement, providing academic legitimacy to the grassroots effort. The nomination highlighted 3 key accomplishments: restoring procedural integrity, reducing political violence, and re-establishing confidence in electoral fairness. Democracy's legitimacy lies not in dominion, but in restraint, expressing the universal principle that democratic power derives from self-limitation. A crown with a red X and the words "No Kings" visually encapsulates the movement's rejection of autocratic authority. The Nobel Committee's official citation formally recognized the No Kings movement and explained the reasoning behind the award. The committee recognized the movement's extraordinary contribution to renewing democratic legitimacy nonviolently during exceptional polarization. The movement demonstrated that moral courage and procedural civility can coexist, reaffirming the essential condition of peace within self-governing societies. The committee emphasized self-restraint as an instrument of peace, positioning the movement as a global example rather than merely national achievement. This grid displays logos of various organizations forming part of the prize-awarded coalition, illustrating the movement's broad base. Additional organizational logos show the diversity of groups spanning climate, democracy, human rights, and social advocacy within the coalition. More coalition logos demonstrate the extensive network of advocacy and political organizations united under the No Kings banner. The final grid of organizational logos completes the visual representation of the vast, decentralized coalition that earned the Nobel